Hello, Joe here. So today we've got two flashlights we're talking about. We've got the Olight Warrior X Pro and my favorite, the Surefire Fury Intellibeam. This isn't a direct comparison. This is going to be basically a review of both of them. The Warrior is definitely brighter and the Surefire is the go-to light I pick up when I leave the house. I prefer the Surefire most of the time, but sometimes the extra power of the Warrior is the way to go. So here's how this came about. I had the Surefire Fury, I lost it. I bought an Olight Warrior to replace it because it cost a little bit less. And then I ended up buying another Surefire because I just prefer it. Maybe it's because I'm what I'm used to, but I just prefer the beam. The Surefire certainly costs more, a lot more if you go to the Surefire's website. I found it cheaper on Amazon. The Warrior wins in all the categories, but not to be ignored is the Intellibeam feature. It just gives you the right amount of light whenever you need it. They both are about the same size. They both look about the same. The Surefire to me has more of the look of a tool, and the Warrior is a little bit flashier looking, but it kind of looks like a toy. It is harder to lose, and I like the included strap. The thing I like the best about the Warrior is the charging device, just magnets onto the end, whereas you have to take apart the Surefire. For the Surefire, you take it apart, you take the battery out, and you plug it in with that micro USB. For the Warrior, you don't ever have to take it apart. You can just plug that right in. But while we're on that topic, the Warrior Olight battery is significantly larger. Before we can talk anymore, we're going to have to go someplace a little bit darker than my home in a city. So now we're in Benton, Maine at the Maine Winter Romp. I got the two flashlights here, and Dave's got filming this, and he's got a light on his head. And if we look at something relatively close up, the Surefire with the Intellibeam lights up at basically the whole thing we're looking at. If I go with full brightness, it lights up the whole thing we're looking at brighter. The Warrior tends to light up less of a field of view, and at full brightness, still it's got one hot spot in the middle. It's definitely brighter, but the Surefire to me is more useful light. Now if you really need the brightness and we need to light up something further away, if we look down this hill with the Surefire, even at maximum brightness, we can just barely see the bottom of the hill. Probably doesn't show up as good on the camera, but we can see the bottom of the hill, but not so great. The Warrior at maximum brightness, we can easily see the bottom of the hill. It is just significantly brighter, and it throws light considerably further. The narrower field, it doesn't matter so much because by the time it's that far away, it's plenty wide, and it really is much brighter. But unless you really need that distance, I find the Surefire just to be a more pleasant way to light up what you're looking at, unless it's very far away. Just for a point of reference, in the daytime, we were standing around here, shining the lights down the hill onto this path here. So in conclusion, I prefer the Surefire. The Warrior is a very nice, very bright light, and I'm glad I have it, especially if I'm someplace really dark, off-roading or overlanding, or even camping. If you need to see something that's far away and it's dark, it's the light to have. Most of the time, I'm using a flashlight when I go out at night to walk my dog, just to keep an eye on her or whatever she might be deciding to eat. I think that's a McNugget. There was a little bit of an upset, though. One of the guys I was at the Winter Romp with, Paul, he took out of his Jeep a flashlight from Coast, and it was really well made and really bright and pretty inexpensive from what he recalls. It's definitely worth a look as well. What do you got there, Paul?
Coast.
Coast? What'd that cost you?
No idea.
All right.
Is she rechargeable?
She's rechargeable. She's got a green light on the back. Man, this is an upset. Show me that focus trick. See, look, this is an upset in our flashlight challenge.
It is. Nice pattern.
And it lights up exactly what you want to see.
I want to say it was like $30.
30 bucks. Want to trade?
Yeah.